cousins, welcome back and happy Sunday. If you're new here, I'm Sidel and this is my journey onto a healthier life. So I appreciate you stopping by my channel. What I do want to start it off with, as always, is I hope that everyone's day is off to an amazing start. I hope that you are doing exactly what you want to be doing in the perspective place that you want to be doing it, and with the people that you want to be doing it with, okay? And I hope that your week goes smoothly. I hope that everything that you want to do and you plan on doing happens in this week coming up, okay? So let's just jump right into it, because if you see in the little intro, I talked about how my first week of August was crazy. And just to touch base a little bit on that, because there was another video I uploaded where I was talking about I was triggered, and what I did was eat something that was not beneficial to me, like those cupcakes. Now I will say I was triggered, and my natural go-to, which I know about myself, is to have something sweet and crunchy. Sweet and or crunchy. And so going forward, I am being super mindful of the things that trigger me and how to deal with them. And it's not that I didn't know this knowledge before, so I'm just going to share with you guys what works for me. So I have removed, and this wasn't even the cupcakes, removed anything that I have in my house. I do not keep any sweets in my house. Actually, we have a box of cake mix here and a jar of frosting. That's been here for months, okay? So for the most part in my house, if I actually want anything like that, I have to go outside and get it, or I have to be outside and actually go and get it. But going forward, when I know that I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm triggered, that bothered me, I'm stressed out, what I'm not gonna do is grab that unhealthy snack item like cookies, donuts, cupcakes. And let me tell y'all, just to be 100% transparent, I love bread. Like, bread is the thing that I love. It is my frenemy, y'all. It's my frenemy. Anything bread related. Croissants, donuts, cake, pies, cornbread, hush puppies, biscuits, like anything bread related, I love that. But knowing that those carbs turn into sugar, like your body is going to metabolize that and turn it into sugar, so you're just compounding sugar on top of sugar. There is a science behind that, and there's a reason that they push it out in the public. Like, we have all these foods available to us, readily available to us, that are unhealthy, and you keep craving them. And the reason being is because sugar is as addictive or more addictive than cocaine is, believe it or not. And if you don't believe me, look into that. Research it yourself. So those are things that I don't have in my house. I don't keep them in my house. I did not have any popcorn, I think, at that time. Or actually I was out, and that's why I was like, let me grab this cupcake. So that was it's a self-soothing thing for me, and I recognize that about myself. What I will say going forward in the future, what has worked in the past for me and what I am implementing now, is just to take a beat. Take a beat when you know that something has triggered you. Take 10 minutes, pause, realize, okay, I'm triggered, and why am I triggered? Like, why? I have these tablets, but I also have journal books that I keep with me everywhere. I suggest keeping a journal with you, like in your bag, in your purse, in your car. So when you're taking that 10 minutes, just take a couple deep breaths, inhale, exhale, and then write down what is happening, what you're feeling. And I'm a strong advocate for therapy too, like, because some things you need to actually talk through. You can try to work it out by yourself and see how far you can get, but therapy, ultimately, like us, our community has fought therapy so much. We are getting better, I will say, but some things you have to talk them through, because something could trigger you that you don't even know is related to some trauma way back. You know what I mean? So that's super important. Take a walk. That walk, that movement, exercise creates endorphins that make you feel good, which can totally change your mood. And it gives you a minute to, again, process whatever triggered you, and just the change of scenery, because sometimes you need a different perspective, or just to step away from something. And if you're in an environment or in a moment, in a place where you like, I really can't get this 10 minutes. Let me tell you right now, you're not asking, can I have 10 minutes? No, you're saying, I need 10 minutes. Like, you demand, you need that 10 minutes to regroup. The way that things are in the world right now, let me tell you, most employers will respect that. Okay, this person needs 10 minutes because the way the world is right now, they don't know what's going to happen if they don't give you that 10 minutes. So they're going to respect that you need that 10 minutes to regroup, come back, and they'll be like, you good? Yes, I am. I'm ready to get back to work. Another thing that I like to do outside of taking a walk is meditation and yoga. With those two things, I will say that with yoga, you are kind of grounding yourself. You're more focused on your breathing and your movements. So at the end of all of that, you kind of feel just more centered and aligned with the Most High, God, the Creator, whomever you would like to call him or her. You're more connected with the universe, so you're more balanced, so you can deal with any of those triggers that may happen, that may cause you to eat something that you know is not going to help you on your journey back to good health, or a continued journey in health. The other thing that I like to do is read. Now, I have the audio books, and I listen to positive affirmations every day. But reading, I like hardcover books, y'all. I'm old school. So while I have the audio available through my Amazon store or my Amazon apps, it's not quite the same thing as actually flipping through the page. And I've always been an avid reader. Reading takes you away, excuse me, out of whatever your current situation or environment is, into, if it's a good story, or a bio, or whatever it is that is of interest to you, that will, just bring your stress level back down and kind of give you that moment to regroup. Of course, you're not going to do that in a 10-minute session. Yeah, you can read some stuff in 10 minutes, but but you really need more time to read a good book. I'm just saying, for me. And let's see, the other thing that I want to say is, like, just really support yourself and celebrate yourself for making those good choices, like eating some fruit or eating salad or having more water. I know that I did have something last week that was actually, I had a sandwich, and there was something else in that was pretty acidic that my system didn't like. And so I suggest drinking alkaline-based water. We used to keep it in my house all the time. That was the only kind of water we had, and we hadn't really gotten into that for whatever reason since we've been back in Houston. I think they have so many different options that I kind of like, I need to do some research on what it is that they have out here and available in the market versus what was readily available to me before. And just your body thanks you. Like, and I'll give you an example per last night. So last night I was up doing my daughter's hair. It was late. It was last minute. And I was like, you know what, dang it, I didn't even eat dinner. But I do need something. I do want something because I'm going to be up for 2 more hours braiding. So when I get fresh fruit, some fresh fruit I like cut up and I'll put it in the freezer. Let me tell you how frozen blueberries are sweet. They are so sweet and so delicious. And for me, it gave me that, not crunch like a chip, but it was still something solid to chew on. And then I just followed up with having a banana with that and finished drinking my water. And I was good for the rest of the night. Not only was I good for the rest of the night, I was proud of myself for making a good choice, and not not sabotaging my journey, basically. So last week we were sitting at 175 steady. This week, or this morning I should say, I got on the scale. I'm 172 now. I've still been drinking my water infused with fruit because I don't necessarily love water, y'all, unless it's infused with natural fruit or lime or mint, which both of those items are really good for you anyway. It helps you flush out your system, especially the lemon. And if you need more support outside of that, like, join gyms that are cost effective. Build yourself a community around you of other people who are going to support you in your journey in this new healthier lifestyle. I am going to insert a picture in here because the weight I was at and how I looked when I first moved to Houston versus what I looked like coming out of COVID. Now, they say everybody gained the COVID 20. Well, I gained the COVID 40, 50. Okay, that's where I was, on top of getting back out into the workforce in a environment where I had to be there physically and no longer online, and dealing with the public. And some people were just outright rude. Like, some people would literally come in a place just coughing, like, in your face and right by you, and then going on a rant about, not wearing masks, and I'm glad your store doesn't do this and that and the other. And I will say, at that time, I was pretty unhappy. While I was making a decent salary, I was pretty unhappy in that company because I knew where I was. The role that they hired me for, they didn't really want me to do that role. Like, okay, you're here, you're a body, you have this title, but you really don't have any control of anything at all because this is what we're doing and this is how we've been doing it, and that's just going to be what it is. on top of the pressure of making sure the sales exceeded what they had did in the previous year. And this is what I know being a former interior designer, y'all. People are going to spend money at certain times of year. The construction industry is the same. There's a high, there's a low. Like, that's just what it is. And when the economy is unstable, people hold on to money. So you have a certain clientele who's going to spend $5,000 on a single chair. That's not your everyday person. So you have your repeat clients, but they're only going to buy so many new pieces of furniture in that year. You know what I mean? So just setting goals that were not attainable and working in a position where they kind of hired me as a warm body just made me an unhappy person all around. And so I ballooned up to 220, and you'll see that picture there. Yeah, so very unhappy time in my life. Did I express my feelings or go to therapy or talk about it? No, because I'm a single mama too. And let me just say, my children are grown now, but I've raised my children by myself. You got to plow through stuff. Like, I didn't have a moment to be like, oh my gosh, I really don't like this and I don't want to be here. I just had to plow through it. And instead of, and I did have a therapist. We met and we really didn't vibe or connect. But even so, I got a household to maintain. So we as women sometimes appear as superwomen, but if you're not taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your health is going to decline in one way or another. It's going to manifest. Okay? So I'll say, I said all that to say, just take care of yourself. Take a minute, take a beat to take care of yourself, period, point blank, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be there to take care of the people that you love. And with all that being said, y'all, I'm going to check back in with you. It's super hot here, which is why you haven't seen any of my workout routines or videos. And today is my first day off in 6 days. Yeah, so I worked. No, I had to take an extra day off. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, let me mention some of my stress stem from the car dealership has my car. There's been a manufacturer recall on a part, and they've had my car for 3 weeks. They are not providing loaner cars to any of their customers. And I've been using Uber. So getting around Houston in that capacity is very expensive for anybody who has not been here or they don't live here. There's no public transportation system in the suburbs. Let's just be clear. There's no sidewalks and there's no public transportation, and it's super hot. And Houston is spread out. There is nothing that is close, in close proximity to one another. Everything is spread out. So that has been, I'm not going to get too deep into the dealership and who it is and the manufacturer, and because it's a whole other fight that I'm dealing with. But I will say that's one of my biggest stressors for August. So we're trying to figure some stuff out, and hopefully they'll have my car back to me soon. We'll kind of get back on track, and because I have not been able to go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, and there's not one that is close to me. I put in another online order yesterday, and of course I didn't want them to substitute my stuff for some other stuff. So they didn't have some stuff, and then they took it out of my cart, and I'm like, okay then. All right. So I haven't, I did a small salad meal prep that I inserted for you guys. I haven't done a, well, I did do a video, and I'm just not going to upload it because the lighting was horrible. But just know that we have the intention to, I have the intention to do like lunch meal preps with you guys, and smoothies. So the next video that I'm going to upload, we're going to talk about some smoothies that are beneficial for certain things like weight loss, metabolism, fighting cancer, and things like that. Things that you should be eating, that you may want to eat, that you may want to incorporate into your life. That's just going to be good for your overall health. But that's where we are today, y'all. I'm not going to keep blabbing away, but I love you and I appreciate you, and I hope that you have an amazing